Well, hello there, everybody. It is a smooth Monday. Welcome, everyone. Honored to have you here. Just a pleasure to be here. And that was the incomparable Mark Allman. I just never heard of him. Check him out. He was phenomenal player. I don't know if he's still around or not. But anyway, favor to all of us all. We're here, and that's all that counts as he goes through all of the buttons. And buttons are punched, doors closed. We are out of here. So the bus is loading up. And why is that? Let's see. It's interesting. So what's up, folks? Good to see you all. It is a pleasure. Hello there, Elderberry. Good to see you. I know, yeah, everything is good. Hey, Lucky Stone, what's up? Yeah, we all are prospering. You know something about this prospering in Boston, and happy birthday and anniversary if you got one. It's a beautiful day. And there's only one of you. You know, you're going to go through this realm. Depends on your point of view, maybe once, maybe 100 times, who knows? But I was thinking about this weekend as I was writing, and it's interesting. I've been here on this planet for a little more than, I think, 24,000 days. Hey, Susie Q, what's up? David Castle, much love to you. John Price, Jules, much love to you. Xander, how are you? Good to see you. Paul P. Dragon, Soul Fox, what's up? So I just want to say hello to everybody, you know, best I can. Hey, Tam Tam, what's up? Nikki, Jenny, much love to you. So I want everyone to stop and think about this. Determine how many days you've been on this planet, in this cycle, this realm, whatever. And then think about it. For myself, nearly 24,000, little over 24,000 days. And I have to say, out of those 24,000 days, maybe 300? That might be a stretch. But let's just say 300. That's what I thought about over the weekend. Actually, I thought it was less. Thought it was less than 200, but 300. Given what we're talking about today, psychogenic amnesia. So anyway, the point is, so I've been on this planet for 24,000 days, and I've really only had about 300 bad days, all combined. I mean, bad days, folks. And even you can take the best day, and you can take, even if there was a bad moment, push that over into a day. And I thought, that's not bad. I mean, heck, that's less than 0.00543. And I thought, that's not bad. I mean, for a messed up realm, and I contend it's getting worse. We had our moment in the sun, so to speak. That is since passed, and we're into some weird stuff, no doubt about it. But then again, it's going to be interesting. You got to say that. I mean, whatever is here, coming, about to pounce on us, whatever. Yeah. So think about that. How many bad days have you really had in your entire existence? Let's say even if you had a 10% factor, that's 90% of the time. It isn't that bad. Of course, that's sleep and other things. Hey, Gaia, how are you and Paul? Good to see you. Much love. Hello, Nina. How are you? Nina the Mystic. What's happening up there in Canada, my dear? It's a little chilly here today. I think as I look down, it's 38 degrees, cloudy. Love it. Misty. Perfect weather for good reading, hot beverage, nice fire. That's what I'm saying. Susie Q said sleep is good. Yeah. Although I will say this, I had some Wow, some weird dreams over the weekend. I mean, last night was, I knew I was dreaming, but I knew I was awake and I knew I was in this. Yeah, just very strange. Hey, Big Al, what's up? Working on Sagittarius angel cards. How about that Jupiter ruling? How cool. Hey, Flat Risk. Hello, Eyes to See. Maria, how are you, dear? Beloved Abstract, going on my bicycle ride after the show, low 50s. Hey, beautiful time. That's, hey, Scotty boy, what's up? So, I got a lot of things. We are prospering. And one last thing, I hope you got your copy of the Soul Tribe cards. We're about to have the angel cards. And this is how I get to see, when I see the names, I like to come in here and say, okay, I know who that is. Oh, I know who that is. And a lot of us come and go. And, it's always good to know that, well, one of us will be around. Who knows? So anyway, the thing about these angels, I want to bring this out. And by the way, Big Al, you are the best, brother. Let me see. Which way are you going, man? Would you stop? You're getting sleepy. Anyway, get your deck. That's all I got to say. So the angels. All right. We like, let me tell you, Ariel. You get Ariel in your life. And Ariel is all about, finding fortune, bringing fortune, finding prosperity. We got it. And the thing about I've noticed about Ariel doesn't work in ways that, like a lottery. If I find that angel, I'll let you know there is one. But it's continuous. It's like not huge doses, not real small doses. It's just consistent. And someone asked me about 2 or 3 weeks ago, they said, well, you got a real problem with the Jewish God. I do. And they said, well, so why are you, dealing with these angels? I mean, everything about them has got Hebraic inclinations to it. But here's the thing, folks. If these creatures are who they are, and these are, you can see right up here. Joe, isn't that true? Isn't that true? Absolutely. So you do realize that the whole Hebrew thing is a myth. The whole Jewish thing, the whole Christian thing, the whole Islam thing. But let's get with this one right here. You see, the Samaritan tablets disproved the whole Hebrew conceptualization of what a god is. Now, a lot has been written on it. It's strong, powerful magic. These sky people, and that's where they are. That's where they came from. Excuse me. So the Samaritan tablets had no mention of any Jewish god, no Christian god, no Islamic god, no Hindu god. And they're the earliest known forms of writings, Sanskrit, that we have. There are some who would say, well, the Chinese may have something that's older, the Hindus. You have to remain open to all things. But the point is, so did this angel, Ariel, exist before the creation of the Hebrew religion? Yes, no. Pretty simple question. And determined on how you perceive it will give you indication as to where you stand in your compass. So when I see all the things about the Hebrew and I see the Kabbalah and all the rest of this in this, I kind of figure it's like this. Maybe these cats We don't know. Maybe they got captured too. Maybe they're working to pay off a debt. I don't know. I do know this, that if spirits exist, I believe I'm one. Someone wrote me and said, well, Wayne, so what is this now that you see about the soul and the spirit? Well, if you depend on how you look at it, and Gnosis is what we learn as we go, if you incorporate the fact that the soul is basically made of the same material, this density in this realm, the soul can never be as pure as the spirit. The soul can never be more powerful than the spirit. That's what we're learning here. That what we have been is that we've been duped. We've been sucker punched time and time again. We actually believe that there has to be a God. We actually believe that there has to be a devil. Why our whole culture, our whole government, our whole societal norms, including corporate, including legalese, is all predicated upon the belief of one particular deity, which appears to be a lying son of a bitch. Don't have the truth. And so, where did this lying son of a bitch come from? Because the name Yahweh, Elohim, are not in the Samaritan Sanskrit. And the Samaritan Sanskrit predate the Hebrews, the first Jew, the first children of Israel, first Abraham by 2,000 years. So, said all that in the interest of these angels. I kind of just figured they're spirit beings. And I dig the fact that I am a spirit being. I talk to spirit beings all the time. So what's the big deal whether it's a spirit being that I can see who may be lying to my face or talking to something unseen? Don't know. Judge them by their fruits. So my whole point is that I haven't seen anything wrong on this yet. Well, thank you, Janie. Appreciate that. Hello, Teresa. How you doing, girl? Good to see you. Twilight Traveler, Amy, Ryan, good to see you as well. And Shannon, how are you, my love? S. Lee, good to see you. So the angel for today is Haiaiel, Haiaiel, the angel of divine warriors. I dare say that there's probably more than one in this group. Deus Domineus Universorum, God, master of the universe, patron of ideological revolutionaries, soldiers, warriors, martial arts students and masters, and idealist. Wow. Power to the people. Power to the people right now. Yeah, Haiaiel's going, oh yeah, I dig that, man. Offers victory and peace, brings safety and security. Teaches how to distinguish good from evil or truth from lies. Frees from opposition and evildoers. Teaches forgiveness. I'm going to digress here a second. The World According to Wayne, by R. Wayne Steiger. The real, just my opinion, I think the real key here in this life is simple one thing. One simple thing. And if you can master it, you can possess everything else. You got the ticket. You've got the golden ticket. You're going to be able to go, baby, wherever you want. You got the ticket. When you pass on from this realm to the next, the conductor is going to go, clear the way. We got an upgrade coming through. You know what that one thing is? In fact, I can tell you it's probably even more superior to what most people think it is. You probably are saying love. It isn't love at all. It's forgiveness. The simple act of forgiveness. I was in the shower this morning having my conversation with, the one who gave me consciousness. And it's interesting when you begin to think about forgiveness. You see, if there really is true forgiveness, there's no judgment. There's no sin. There is none of that. It allows you to basically go through this realm kind of like Teflon. Yeah. Bulletproof forgiveness. But that is according to R. Wayne Steiger. And this angel teaches forgiveness, a reliable source of protection in your daily life. Teaches how to improve intelligence and leadership skills. Allows bringing forth new thoughts and ideas which have the power to change the world. Do you ever get the idea that these beings here have been like really underutilized? I mean, can you imagine standing up before the world at the UN, you're on the podium, and you say, I invoke Haiaiel, Haiaiel, Haiaiel to come and be amongst us. And we want this angel's talents, skills, abilities. We open ourselves up to this angel. I wonder what would happen. Helps to bring you to change if you are willing to do anything to achieve your goals, or if you do not honor your commitments. Allows us to be more receptive to the inspiration of the divine, guides you towards success by giving you self-confidence, symbol of judgment and courage, bestows with us strength, bravery, boldness, and powers. Teaches how to make good and fair decisions, shows how to be a good strategist, provides with prudence and discernment, protects from betrayals, murders, conflicts, and criminals. Yeah, murder sucks, doesn't it? Seems like all you only get is one time, buddy. Yeah. So much. Also, there is a saying, there is a prophecy, in fact, that says one of the signs of truly the close of an age is when the young men dream dreams and the old men have visions. I wonder if we're there. Has anyone ever here had visions? There's a number of different types. There's waking visions. There's visions at night when the angels come. I was thinking about this in my life. Again, I'm writing kind of like the memoirs of myself, but I can distinctly recall 4 visits, distinct visits. And they always were the same beings. There was 3 of them, always 3. It's funny because those of us who you have to believe, number one. Now, giving the gift of having a vision, I don't know where that works. I don't think that requires faith. I think that if you are the vessel, then it's going to come. What you do with it's really up to you. And within each one of these, they were in fact, I'm reliving every one of them. Very distinct. The kind that stay with you. we all have dreams. Most of us forget our dreams, but when you have a night vision, night visitation, particularly in this case, the first one that I had was when I was living in St. Louis back in the 70s. I was actually living in Fenton. And 3 years later, I had the next one. Then it was a decade or so before I had the next one. And then another long period of time before I had the next one. Now, what's real interesting is in the vision that the last one, I'm actually living it now. This is weird. Wrote it down back when it happened. And in fact, I think I've even said it here in one of the couple thousand programs back there. I was in a city that was in falling down. It was literally, and I remember specifically, it was made of bricks. And then the next thing I know, I'm being guided. And it was kind of like this narrow street, one where you would see shops on either side. And I'm walking down this, and as I'm walking, I can see the horizon around there, and I can see that it was at one time a beautiful city, but it seemed to be in a state of collapse. Then the next thing I knew, I was in this room to the right of me, and there was this, and I'll just say it was this angelic being. It was a being. It was a light beam is what I saw, but I could see the details and everything else. Anyway, the point is that it pointed, and as I looked to where it was pointing to this whiteboard, and the being said to me, "It's time to teach." Boom. So there we go. And I won't tell you what the rest of it is, but anyway. So, psychogenic amnesia. I contend that the possibility is that we all are suffering from what they call psychogenic amnesia. Now, it's interesting if you've looked up what the word and it means. It's a dissociative amnesia, which is a memory disorder characterized by sudden retrograde episodic memory loss, said to occur for a period of time ranging from hours to years to epochs, I contend. More recently, dissociative amnesia has been defined as a dissociative disorder characterized by retrospectively reported memory gaps. These gaps involve the inability to recall personal information, usually of a traumatic or stressful nature. This is key, because the atypical clinical syndrome of the memory disorder, as opposed to organic amnesia, is that a person with psychogenic amnesia is profoundly unable to remember personal information about themselves. There is a lack of conscious self-knowledge, which affects even simple self-knowledge, such as who they are. Psychogenic amnesia is distinguished from organic amnesia in that it is supposed to result from a non-organic cause. No structural brain damage or brain lesion should be evident, but some of the psychological stress should precipitate the amnesia. However, psychogenic amnesia is a memory disorder of controversy. Reason being, it's trauma. Now, I contend that's what's happened to us as a species. We were traumatized. Something happened. I don't know whether we have the clues for it. We know that the current world's perception of God is wrong. The world's been worshiping the wrong God if that's what we want to define the creator as being. What is being worshiped today in the mainstream Abrahamic religions and then the associated religious beliefs, and I've did a video, I've shown you what the top 10 religious beliefs are. I contend we don't know which God is right. This present one isn't working at all. We've accomplished nothing in 2,000 years. Nothing. That's retrograde. So what was it that this particular God, it's on our money, it's every one of you have been impacted by it. It dominates the, if you want to call it, the collective conscious of humanity. It's a virus that it touches you, and the good thing is that you can build natural antibodies. But I contend that this can't be the God. But everyone, the vast majority of the world right now is anticipating Armageddon. The vast part of the world is anticipating a calamity of some kind. Why? It's all programmed with this dissociative amnesia that humanity is cursed with. Trauma. So what was it that was so traumatic that we as a species chose to forget it? We can't remember. And no matter how much we try in vain, we cannot remember. Reminds me of the album Nectar, Remember the Future. We desperately want to know. And it does seem that this trauma effect is here again. The world is being traumatized as I speak. It's whatever it is. Again, everything that you step back and see, it's as if there is a greater control factor here that is constantly inserting trauma, trauma, trauma. It comes from us, and allow me a great segue as to where this trauma even begins. It's amazing, folks, when you stop and think about it, what the hell is going on here? Trauma. So from the moment we come into this realm, it is trauma. It traumatizes the fuck out of us. I mean, it is absolutely a one-way ticket. You can't be born twice through the vaginal canal. You cannot. And the fact that this is the apparent initiation, and what I really want to get to is this. So the first thing the child's consciousness is aware of is pain. Pain of a point that, wow, no human being can endure it. So what happens? I want to get into this one picture here. Give me a second here. You can go back and check out. I pulled up the wrong one. I hate when I do that. And I did do that. Oh, well, the point is, as he says, is the trauma. And then you think about this as you go through life. It seems to be one trauma after the other. And it seems to be the one constant reinforcement here. Many people's lives are measured by the traumatic events that they've endured. Some have very few traumatic events. Others seem to somehow have the ability to neutralize these traumatic events. And those individuals seem to have the unique ability to be much more psychic inclined, much more empathic. And those who have the ability to neutralize these traumas are warriors, strong spirit beings. Now, if we're trapped into this, it doesn't seem to be diminishing us, no matter what the trauma they tried to throw at us. Scotty Boy says, what taught how we handle traumas. It's, Chris says, no pain, no gain. There's a lot of truth to that. Willie says, the kid says there's zero consciousness on the other side. It's the transition. And anyway, trauma. So let's get into this whole thing about where we are today. Tomorrow, I'm having on, with Trina and I, on a second look, April and Jay are coming in from Spiritual Raw, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about this, because if you look at what happens on and I can say this, no matter what the ideological platform is, politics, social cultures, religion, ideologism is, we all have it. It's how we function here. But if you look at how do I put this? Everything, it seems that there's an initiation. An initiation, a true initiation, is a life-changing event. You will actually measure your life review by the initiations. The first one we all have in common is that it's the initiation of the birthright, the rite of passage. And I've been thinking about this more, because when I got that message, I have a challenge to any spirit who's not taken on physical form. The way I look at this, folks, is that if you're a spirit being, an angelic, a divine one, the daemons, the demons, and you've never been born in the flesh, you're lesser than me. I'm superior to you. I don't care how long you've been around. I don't give a damn what your arc position is. You can be an arc whatever you want of my ass. I don't give a damn. What I'm saying, even if you're an archangel, you're going to kiss my ass. I ain't worshiping anything. I don't want anything to worship me. But if there has to be some ass kissing being done here, for instance, in what we have in the term rituals, well, you're going to kiss my ass first. Because you see, if that spirit being has never taken on the flesh, there's no way it can be superior to me. I passed the initiation. You did too. And as my slides show, 1 in 6 don't. Today, those odds are even higher. It's like 1 in 3. But my point is, I passed an initiation. My spirit, whether you want to believe on the negative or the positive aspect of whatever that blending was, I did it. So did you. That makes me superior to any God. Unless God has actually come in the flesh, it doesn't have anything in common to even be able to understand the flesh. If a God can't experience something in itself, then it's no God. It's a fraud. It's just like this. I confounded someone this week and write him in an email, just apparently freaked them out. But hey, they came knocking. I merely answered the door. And I gave them an answer that freaked them out. This individual was pretty brutal. I'm used to that, but challenging me and saying, how do you come up with this thing with Lucifer? You're blah, 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 blah. And I simply wrote back and I said, all right, so show me where you're Jesus on the stick. Show me anywhere, any translation where this Jesus character ever said the word Lucifer. In fact, show me where this Jesus character ever addressed any spirit being called Lucifer. I waited, went on about my stuff, had other things to do, came back, I guess, about, 5 hours later. Here was a response. And in the response, the first 3 words were, "You son of a bitch." This person then began to break down and said that I somehow blew up their faith in God. Went on to say that they've hated me, cursed me. Apparently, a lot of Christians do that because they can't answer the question. Just reading some of the comments. And the person went on to explain they could not do that. That, I guess, the first crack came when I said, show me where Lucifer in the Bible, in the Quran, in the Torah, ever said, worship me. Show me wherever it said to ever sacrifice an animal, a plant, a human being. Well, they couldn't find it. Not my fault. I didn't write it. So if this Jesus character never said Lucifer, then is this really a bad guy? Bad gal? I don't know. Seems we've got it backwards. The God that the world worships today is a murderous psychopath. And I wonder, let's connect the dots, if this psychogenic amnesia that we are all suffering from, still, we're a traumatized species. I mean, it's so freaking bad. A lot of times you go out there today, people don't know, they don't know why they're here. They don't know what's here. They're walking zombies. They have become so traumatized, and now they're traumatizing us by chemicals. Always trauma. And if this deity that the world worships is so damn strong, well, where is it? What, is it going to require 8 billion people to die before it makes an entrance? It's the problem we have here. We're traumatized. We attack each other. Married couples attack each other. Why? We want to inflict a trauma on them. Why? We want to make sure that you understand my point. Couples, lovers, siblings, families, nations. It's all about inflicting trauma. And I think we do it so well because that's who and what we really are. We don't want to admit, I have said this before, should the world throw off these gods and say, hey, haven't any of it, I wonder what might happen. Kathy goes, I'm sorry I'm late. It's all right. Everybody's welcome. Come in whenever you want. Hey, you can bring your drink with you. You know, it's all right. Yeah. I mean, I've given this a lot of thought. I mean, I was in that matrix for, folks, if there hadn't been this epiphany, this traumatic effect, and you know, how I got here was because of a freaking traumatic event that broke me of that which I was in before. It freaking crumbled to the ground. It was a traumatic event. I cried like a baby in a fetal position. That's trauma. It's trauma when you get in, and it's trauma when you get out. Whew. It's got me fired up now. But it's the truth. Trauma. I mean, it's amazing that we make it as far as we do. You see, I don't believe man's the problem here. Man's never been the problem. It's just that we are there are species in different planets, and every planet, the dominant species has uniquenesses about them. Humanity is the same way. We are the result of a genetic experiment, and this experiment went wrong. This is not what our creators intended for us. In fact, we grew so quickly, so fast, that if they had not intervened on a planetary level at the time that they did, we would have been the master gods already. Now, they neutered us. They neutered us. They cut us off, number one, on a lifespan. Think about that. How dare them? How dare them allow that the longevity of what these bodies are capable of, thousands of years of growth, is in every body. But this God the world worships, they said no. The second neutering they took place was of our soul, our spirit. Now, the forbidden religion says that the soul is connected to the body. I believe that's true. What they did not anticipate, the physicality of life is very simple. It's very easy to duplicate. We're doing it now in the labs. We've been able to do it for decades. But something went wrong that they were so afraid of that when they left a traumatic marker on us, knowing that most likely, due to cosmic cycles alone, that the odds of us making it through these cosmic cycles are little to none. That was their gift to us. They left us on our own. And I contend that this has been recent. I don't think it was hundreds of thousands of years ago. I'm almost convinced it's probably within the last 2,000 to 3,000 years. So recent that the history that we think is history is not history at all. But we can't remember. We don't want to remember. Now, I don't know if this is something that they did to us, much to what the story in the myths of the Tower of Babel, did they do another event to us? We seem to lose the ability collectively to remember. We can't remember now. All signs of a species using the term psychogenic amnesia, purposely done to us, and that this is the defense mechanism. Maybe it's our spirits that are actually the ones insulating us and retaining that Akashic record. We all should have the fundamental ability to remember past lives. It shouldn't be that difficult. The animal kingdom does it. The plant kingdom does it. Apparently, we were doing it at one time. And it seems this event could be very well correlated to many of what the beliefs of today's systems are. Joe, maybe a program was, yeah. We're easily programmable. We're very gullible as a species. It's amazing. If there's one thing about our history, we see that very few tyrants can control billions of people. And then we have the unique ability of turning on each other. You see, this looks to me like a program. And something continually prohibits us from, we seem to be able to get right to the freaking goal line, and then they yank us back. I'm just pointing out, it's our history. It's what we do. And look at what's happening today. I would probably say what's happening today is the single largest traumatic event to hit humanity psychically since probably the great slaughter of the early 20th century. I mean, we're in a slaughter right now. It's just a different kind. And again, let's get back to belief systems. So if Jesus is the savior of the world, I have no proof of that. I was in it for 50 years, never had any proof there either, just simple belief. But if, in fact, this was a smart dude that came with a message as to how to get the hell out of here, why would it say to Satan, but it was the Satan, wasn't Satan, but yet up on the temple, it was Satan, not Lucifer. And they're two distinctly different personifications. What is it? Has the answer been right there in front of us? Is there an alien of such a level that it is, in fact, the antithesis of every place it goes, because wherever it goes, it's basically having to come in and clean up after these beings? Listen, when they came to this, whether it was the Anunnaki or whether it was someone else, they weren't that smart. They messed up big time. We're the result of it. And here's my big concern. If they ran with their tails tucked between their legs because we kicked their ass, that's the problem. If we ever get this thing right and we get this crescendo of where we meld consciousness and spirituality and bust off the density, they know we're going to come kick their ass. In fact, they couldn't stand in our presence. I think that's their big fear. And if you have that much fear of a powerful enemy, then you're going to do whatever you can to restrict them from ever getting to that point. You want them to walk around in a state of confusion. Because as long as they're confused, you're just fine. They're no threat. The only threat they are is to themselves. And that's kind of the plan. You know, self-annihilation. I guess the question is, have we been missing an ally that we've been taught not to call upon? That we've been taught that this ally is our enemy. We've been taught that this ally is nefarious. We've been taught that this ally hates us. We've been taught that this ally wants to dominate us. But I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, are we not already dominated? Are we not already dominated? I see the crap that goes across YouTube and I'm looking at people and I'm going, no one wants to wake up. And if we're waking up, the question is, what the freak are we waking up to? But I want to get back to what has been taught to mankind as our enemy. The problem that I am seeing is that the one who we've been told is our friend seems to be stabbing us in the back and robbing us blind at the same time. And I also seem to see that it's our blood that's always being spilt, not theirs. And it never seems that it's their fault, it's always our fault. I'm fed up with it because it hasn't worked. 2,000 years is more than enough time to prove a hypothesis. And if we keep getting a different result, then we're insane to continue the experiment. Jack Dreamy says, we woke up to a shit show. You're right. It's like, oh, man. But folks, I am just saying this. The most ignorant, the most retarded, the most regressed human could come to a conclusion that if you keep doing something and it ain't working, stop doing it. It doesn't take that much intelligence. But we can't seem to get out of it. Seems like we're hell-bent on another genocide. What is the result of that? Where is all this power at? It's us doing it. And again, if they're telling me, and they told me for decades that that one was the bad one. Don't even go over there. What do you mean? I can't walk across the street? No. You don't even want them. You don't even want it to look at you. Why? Well, it's evil. It's bad. It's demons. It's Satan, Lucifer. They want to consume your soul. What about my spirit? Don't change the subject. Well, no. I want to find if Lucifer and Satan want to take my soul, did I ever have it to begin with? I don't know. But you didn't say my spirit. Why? Well, the church doesn't teach that. Well, I want to know why can't Lucifer take my spirit? Does Lucifer want my spirit? What would Satan want my soul for anyway? What is this? What, are they playing poker? I mean, what do you do with a soul? Seems like that's a pain in the ass, doesn't it? I mean, I have found out in life, less is more. It seems like when you have more, you have less. And if you're telling me that this is the reason for the woes of the world, then where's your guy? Okay. Thanks, Joyce. Oh, folks, we got to start talking about this. It's not that sanctimonious. It's not heresy. It's not evil. What's evil is what we're in right now. And it ain't good. It hasn't been good. I think the last party probably was at Babel. I mean, you got to admit, people had to be in a good mood, man. I mean, you knew the language, you knew the culture. It was advanced technology. I'll guarantee you someone was smoking a joint out there or drinking a good beer or having a nice fine wine, maybe a honey wine. I mean, maybe it was Woodstock. Maybe that's where the spirit of Woodstock came from. I don't know. But I know that human beings, once their inhibitions drop and once they get to realize that they're really groovy people inside, and so is other people, we can start a party pretty quickly. I mean, you know, get someone to start doing some rhythm, getting the vocals. Maybe you got a guitar, we'll make one, you know. We love to dance, young, old, middle. And then we put our scientists, because we'll have to, the ones right now, they need some adjustment. But imagine once they get into the groove, let's start unlocking the longevity. And then let's start unlocking the intelligent quotient. Mankind should be at an IQ 5,000 or 10,000 by now. We're at 100. That tells me this is deliberate manipulation. And if that is true, ladies and gentlemen, then my whole predication for this whole hour is predicated. If that which is supposedly our enemy may in fact be our savior. And it's highly racist and bigoted minded to not even allow a spirit being or human being the right to speak for themselves. No, you want to cast judgments? That's what the Nazis did. That's what's happening to us today. We summarily reject that which is opposite of us. And that person may know how to make a good batch of cookies. You never know, may have a great formula. There's just 1,001 things, but we cut ourselves off of it. And we suffer trauma after freaking trauma. And here we are today. So that's my 2 cents worth. Thank you for listening. Oh, folks, it's been fun, but I didn't even get to the stuff I was going to be showing. But, you know, I guess it just needed to be said. That's all. I don't know what else to, or how to put it. And I think if we can just figure this out long enough, maybe we can get the forgiveness in. Because where forgiveness is total, well, yeah, the natural thing you're going to have is love. But the other thing you have is power, self-confidence, self-assuredness. You have great empathy. You have the ability to look at each person, not at what you see, but what it is they possess. Their unique spirit, like you. Okay. Oh, Gary Nelson, that's so true. I can actually hear Joni Mitchell singing that song. That always brings me back. Her song always brings me back to the natural child right there in the Montrose area. In fact, it was right off Montrose Boulevard. Anyway, I had gone from the cook to where now I was actually being able to learn. I was put in charge of making granola, the natural kind of granola. I got really good at that, folks. Really good at it. Hey, Martin, Heidi, much love to y'all. But yeah, anyway, still remember the people there. You know, that was back in the day when you'd smoke a joint and you'd go to jail for that. I guess in some countries you can still do that. Anyway, much love to y'all. I do appreciate this. It's just it was a great energy today. I just kind of felt the groove, and you know, Yeah. No fear. That's exactly it. Mossy Man, by the way, I never unsubscribed to you. I'm still subscribed to you. So absolutely. Oh, people got other form. Seems like they're sharing some recipes in here. Is that right, Bridget? Oh, there you go. Well, I was there about 50 years ago. I think it's changed a little bit. In fact, my wife showed me a picture of Burnett Balin. That was the county home that was my home for over a year and a half as a child. It's gone, folks. Few of the cottages are, but it's just a spot now. And I'm going, time passages, eh? Isby, thank you. Love you, brother, as well. David Castle, much love to you as well. Doug and Guy and Paul. Y'all, and I've seen there's Teresa, and I know Gilbert's there, and Suzanne, and my Jenny is there as well. And Paul Joe and Bridget, beloved Ninja. Nina, beloved Abstract. Quani, man, 901. Love and prosperity. Absolutely. Scotty boy. So, see, Martin, Heidi, I'm telling you, we're all brothers and sisters here. We just had different mamas and papas. That's all. California dreaming on such a winter's day. All right, folks, smile. Love yourself. You'll love others. You're beautiful. You're a powerful being. And if we can just break through that, we got this thing down, baby. All right, folks. Hey, Lisa. Love y'all too. All right, Jack Dreamin. Much Deborah Sloan. Good to see you, my love. I think Deborah Truax is out there and the rest of y'all. Much love to you. See you tomorrow. We're going to have a guest, two of them, April and Jay. So looking forward to that. We're going to have fun with it. Nina, love you. Persian Eagle, everyone, Emerald Eagle. Y'all are just the best. All right. See you later. Make sure you hit the like button. They say that really helps. You see, it's the program. Ay, 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 ay.